what is going on, SMT Nation? It's your boy, the SMT, and we're in Lakewood, Ohio. This is a suburb that's just west of downtown Cleveland, downtown CLE. Oh, jeez. That dude was going way too fast. What I want to do is, I've been noticing a lot of upgrades in Lakewood, and T-Mobile's really picked up the pace with N41 upgrades to all their tower sites. And I just did the speed test, but what I want to do is I want to drive through the city and give you guys a snapshot of the build in terms of how they're doing this N41, how it's scaling, the type of performance we're seeing. Last I checked, there were some really nice speed tests coming out of some really previously congested spots. You know, this is a city, a suburb that has a lot of homes. It's very residential. There's a lot of mom and pop small businesses. There's schools, a lot of residences, and I'm sure a lot of T-Mobile users. So it makes sense that they're giving it a lot of attention. Anyways, this was a speed test that I just did. I'm going to go ahead and run another one. The first test was 29 by 14. I just pulled in from that side street back there, but we'll go ahead and we're going to test around a little bit. So I'll do a test here. I'm gonna move up about a half mile to a mile, see what type of speeds I get, as I go through the city. As I do believe it's kind of one of these focus areas for T-Mobile. For the most part, I think they've done a pretty good job of upgrading. Based on the testing I had last week, I want to see if they did any more sites. I'm gonna go to a couple different parts of the neighborhoods and see what type of speeds I get. So serviceable, very good. It's fine. You wouldn't have any issues there. 65 down, about 20 on the up. That's pretty good. We'll see if we can find some other spots. Let's go ahead and get this thing going. We'll check out some other, streets and some other crannies around the neighborhoods. All right, y'all. So we're back here. We're going to test another location. This is actually pretty close to a hospital. There's a couple of, look like some apartments here on the side. And I think there's one over here to my right. You guys can see that. I'm assuming that there's a fair amount of traffic. Obviously, the neighborhoods all over those side streets. I'm going to go ahead and do a speed test here and see how T-Mobile does. This will kind of be like just to check on the capacity as upgrades are ongoing in the city. So my expectation is that it should test pretty well. Although I do not think I'm connected to N41. This is just to kind of see what T-Mobile is doing for capacity at this time. I can probably check the connection here in a second. Curious to see. We got 71 on the downlink and 29 on the uplink. Let's go ahead and see what we can access here. *pound 0011 pound gives you access to the service mode and what you're connected to. And I don't see any N41. I'm going to go ahead and do another speed test. You'll see it does say band 2. But we'll check back after we run a speed test. Put a little stress on the network and see if we can connect. We shall see. It says we're connected to 5G, so I don't know. Let's go ahead and check. And we got 10 megahertz of band 2. N71, 15 megahertz. 20 megahertz of band 66. Alright, so nothing groundbreaking there, no N41 or anything. Alright, and that speed test failed. It always does that. Anytime you leave the speed test app. Pretty good though. Honestly, what could you ask for, right? Nothing you can't do with 100 megabits per second. Ping time's not bad. Looks like 28 milliseconds. Millisecond jitter. So 111 megabits per second on the down. Looks like we got about 25 or 26 megabits per second on the uplink. So this test's pretty good, although not connected to N41. T-Mobile, again, doing a nice job of giving their network some capacity here. Nice. Good job. Let's go test another site. We're going to move up another mile or so. All right, y'all, back for another segment here. And this is a different location. We're about a mile up from the last site. I did see some bars, a couple of restaurants. The traffic's really died down in this part of Lakewood. Anyways, let's go ahead and test it and see what's happening here. I don't know if this is a part that's gotten some N41 upgrades recently, but Good to check to see what we're getting here. All right. Now I tested quite a few sites in the city that were, received N41 upgrades. So I'm going around to other parts to see if any other upgrades have happened. And I'm not really seeing more N41. So what I've tested is pretty much all they have done thus far. So nothing to sneeze at, though. We got 27 millisecond ping, 104 megabits down, and then 51 megabits up. Pretty good stuff here. I'm going to go ahead and run the test again. I'm going to take a look at the service mode and see what we're connected to, the bands and the bandwidth. I'm assuming it's similar to the last test. And it looks like 10 megahertz of band 2. And 71, 15 megahertz. And I think that's at 20 megahertz of band 66 as well. Alright, so there you have it. Up, and it failed again. Let's go ahead and run it, just to make it official. Ping times are pretty good. Latency around, mid to upper 20s. That's pretty good stuff. Good stuff. Alright, so we got a 10 millisecond jitter there connecting to the server. Alright, looks like 100 on the down. Uplink's really good out here. Look at that. Pretty nice. Low 50s. Alright, so we got 100 megabits down and 54 megabits up. I'm going to go ahead and test one more site. We'll see if we can find some N41 down the street here. Alright, y'all, this will be a last test here with this particular segment. What we have is a part of Lakewood. We're on, I don't know, I guess we'd call this the western part of Lakewood. So the last test I ran was pretty good. No N41 connected or anything like that, but it was pretty good. We've been seeing good speeds here in Lakewood. This particular part has a Mexican restaurant. There's a bar. I don't know, is that a Walgreens, AutoZone? There's a convenience store to my left. There's a McDonald's. There's some business here. Let's go ahead and run a test. We'll see what we get. My expectation would be at least similar to what we've been seeing already tonight. I don't see why it wouldn't be any different. Looks like the emphasis of N71 out here. That would be good for a lot of people in their homes, obviously. Ping times seem to be doing very well tonight. 19 milliseconds on this test. Got about 87 megabits on the downlink. The uplink has been tremendous as well. You can see the uplink speeds have been hanging around the 40s and 50s for the last several tests. So nicely done by T-Mobile to give people a good solid uplink capacity and decent download speeds as well. So 87 by 42. Again, not much you couldn't do with that. Pretty good in my estimation. We'll go ahead and run the speed test here, and then I'm going to connect to the service mode and see what we're connected to as it gets a little stressed there. We'll see what we got here. Alright, so we got 10 megahertz of band 2. Should be N71 there for 15 megahertz confirmed. And then we got the additional band 66, 20 megahertz. So, yeah, and it looks like it died as usual. I don't know why it always does that. But we'll just run one more just for the sake of the technicality. 27 millisecond ping. Again, I've been impressed with the latencies. Those are pretty good. It is non-standalone 5G, so the expectation is not so different from LTE. You'll see the downlinks, again, pretty good. Nearing that century mark. 98.3 megabits per second on the downlink. Uplinks have been great. Very good, very nice to see there. Looks like about 45 megabits, 46 maybe. 46 megabits on the uplink. Nice job from T-Mobile. Doing a really solid job of capacity, on the downlink and the uplink. Pretty nice. Anyways, thank you all for being here. Thanks for being a part of the SMT community and watching this video. Appreciate you guys very much. Go ahead and give it a like and a share. Much appreciated. First time here, subscribe, activate the bell notification icon so you never miss an upload from the SMT. Y'all take it easy. Peace. Thank you for taking this opportunity to watch the SMT YouTube channel. If you appreciated this video, give it a like and a share to all your favorite social media platforms. Thank you in advance for that. Also, check out some of the links in the description box. We have the SMT Patreon page. We also have the Twitter handle at Sneed Tech. And do check out the audio-only podcast available on all the major podcast platforms. And if you are new and have not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and activate the bell notification icon so you never miss an upload from the SMT. We'll catch you on the next video. Peace.